You're generally best off with the Quickened trait on all your gear, and you should probably be running heavy armor. But there is some subtlety to the situation. Hey everyone, it's Spopes. With Hearts Week coming up, now is the ideal time to focus on companions. But whenever you happen to be coming across this video, it's never a bad time to look into how to make your companion stronger. Over the course of this video, I'm going to explain what the best trait is to have on your weapons, your armor, and your jewelry for your companion. I'm going to talk about the best armor types depending on the situation, and I'll also touch on which weapon type you might want to use depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But before we dive into all that, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Please like, hype, and share the video. And I could really use your support, so please become a member of the Spopes Army. I have options starting at just $1 a month. You get exclusive emojis and a bunch of other perks. And please do also check out the merch that I have underneath the video. You can also head over to my Fourth Wall shop to check out my full catalog of merch and leave a donation. All right, let's dive into the best gear you can put on your companion in the Elder Scrolls Online. Starting with a little bit of context, companions are assistant NPCs who can journey with you and battle with you throughout the world of Tamriel. They aren't available in PvP activities, but you can take them into dungeons, into overland content. They just follow you around and help you out. At the time that I'm shooting this video, there are 8 different companions. They each have their own personality, likes, dislikes, skill lines, strengths, and weaknesses. I already have a few videos out there about companions, how to choose the right one, and I'm planning to put out an updated companion guide in the near future. Just like you, your companion can be equipped with a full set of gear, including weapons, armor, and jewelry. In addition to that companion's individual skills, the type of weapon and armor and jewelry that you equip affects their functionality significantly. Just for example, as you can see, I have Zareth Var equipped with a greatsword here, which looks pretty cool and makes him effective at melee combat. Depending on what you want to accomplish, however, you might want to give your companion a sword and board, a destruction staff, a healing staff, or even two-handed melee weapons. Every piece of companion gear has a tier, with purple or epic quality being the best, blue or superior quality being slightly worse, and finally there are also green companion items, but I don't actually have any of those equipped. Ideally, you want all your companion's items to be purple, but those items are very hard to find and they're quite expensive in the shop. So in many cases, you'll want to make do with blue. Technically, there are 3 separate roles you can have your companion play while you journey and battle together. Just like for players, you can have your companion serve as either a tank, a healer, or a damage dealer DPS. But in the end, companions don't really do much damage and they aren't that great at healing. So the best purpose you can have for your companion is being a tank. And that means mitigating the damage they take while making them as useful in other ways as you possibly can. But let's start by talking about the different roles that your companion can play and the type of gear that's best for each role. When you go to the skills menu, you'll see that your companion has 3 separate skill lines for armor. You'll also be able to see that each armor type is catered to a particular role, where light armor is best for healers. However, the same rule applies here as does to light armor on your character, where it mitigates the least amount of damage. So if you want your companion to be survivable, you don't want to put much light armor on it. But light armor does increase its overall healing ability. And of course, if you want to make your companion into a healer, you're going to want to put a restoration staff on it. But again, I'll just remind you that the amount of healing a companion can put out is not very reliable. It's intermittent. It doesn't provide that much healing potential. So while a companion might be able to suffice instead of a dedicated healing skill on your bar in some kinds of content, once you're getting into veteran arenas and the Infinite Archive, putting on light armor and making your companion to a healer really doesn't make any sense. You can also boost the damage that your companion does by equipping it with medium armor. As you can see, there's a passive ability under the medium armor skill line for your companions, where the amount of damage they put out is increased by 1% for every piece of medium armor they're wearing. Again, however, companions really don't put out that much damage no matter what you do. And especially in high-end content, the amount of damage they put out is going to be like 1% of yours. So even fully optimized, focusing too much on the damage that your companion is putting out is going to sacrifice their tankiness without really having much of an effect. The one real benefit of equipping medium armor is the active ability that unlocks when you max out this skill line, where if your companion gets seriously damaged, they can just disappear for a few seconds while also healing themselves. That spares you the trouble of having to resurrect them or heal them yourself. Heavy armor on companions is designed to make them into tanks. But whether you're focusing on making them extremely tanky or not, this is probably going to be the best type of armor to put on your companion in high-end content. Really, the main purpose of your companion is to draw attention away from you, so you can effectively take down mobs or destroy the boss without being attacked yourself. And to that end, you want them to be able to stick around for as long as possible, meaning you want them to be as damage resistant as possible, meaning heavy armor is your best approach. So technically, heavy armor on companions is for tanking, but it's really just the best kind of armor you can put on your companion in any scenario. Most people eventually shoot for heavy armor. So now that we know what type of armor is best on companions, depending on the type of role you want them to perform, let's take a moment to focus on traits before we move on to which type of weapon is best for your circumstances. In ESO, there are 9 total traits that can appear on companion gear. Aggressive, which increases damage. Augmented, which increases the duration of their buffs and debuffs. Bolstered, that reduces their damage taken. Focused, which increases their critical strike rating. Prolific, which increases their ultimate generation. Quickened, which reduces ability cooldowns. Shattering, which increases penetration. Soothing, which increases healing. And Vigorous, that increases max health. Out of these options, Quickened is generally considered to be the best of the best. When you have all purple Quickened gear on your companion, that means that their abilities will have almost 100% uptime. So whether your companion is a tank, a healer, or a DPS, this means they'll be able to consistently do damage, heal themselves or heal you, and also bolster their defenses against enemies. For a pure damage dealing companion, aggressive is going to be the best choice, and that is generally considered to be the second best trait overall. For maximizing tankiness, you'll want vigorous. Vigorous is also considered to be an overall excellent trait. If your companion is a pure healer, you'll want soothing. Bolstered can also work for tanks, and it's a pretty good trait. But the rest of them, augmented, focused, prolific, etc., are pretty much useless comparatively. So generally speaking, Quickened is the best trait you can have on companion gear. And it's worth noting that unlike with the gear you wear, you have the same 9 traits across weapons, armor, and jewelry. So rings, chest pieces, feet, swords, staffs, etc. Staves, I guess. They can all roll these 9 different traits. So ultimately, you'd have every single piece of your companion gear at purple and with Quickened. Just as is the case with your gear, there are a variety of different weapon types you can equip on your companion. There are one-handed weapons that you can either double up or combine with shields. There are staffs, or staves if you want to be really grammatical. And there are two-handed weapons. So again, the same logic that we were talking about earlier comes into play here, where on healers, a restoration staff is the default option. On damage dealers, you're going to want either a melee weapon, either consisting of a two-handed melee weapon or 2 one-handed melee weapons, or a destruction staff. And then for tanks, you're going to want a one-handed weapon combined with a shield. But again, it's worth mentioning that the most effective route for a companion in high-end content is going to be a tank, which does mean that the one-handed and shield, also known as sword and board, is the overall best option. As you can see, I'm currently running a two-handed sword on Zarethvar, which is honestly mainly for aesthetics, also because it's one of the weapons I have Quickened on. But this does mean he is right up next to the enemy and dies a bit more easily. If I'm going to optimize him, which I am planning to do in the near future, I'll definitely put a sword and board on him and make sure that all of his armor pieces are heavy. For better survivability on a companion that you still want to put out significant damage, just do a ranged weapon like a destruction staff. So long story short, there is no real best weapon for companions in ESO, but since the most usefulness you can get out of a companion is making them into a tank, you could say that sword and board is the best choice. I just want to reiterate my main thesis here, which is that companions are not really that good at doing damage. They're not really that good at healing, which means that even though there are benefits to running light armor if you want your companion to be a healer, and running medium armor if you want them to do damage, they will probably be more useful as a tank, which means that overall, the best companion gear in ESO is heavy armor in the Quickened trait, with Quickened on everything else too, including a one-handed weapon, a shield, and your jewelry. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to make your companion into a tank. It just means that if you're running veteran content or the Infinite Archive, They will die a lot more easily if you have not made them into a tank, if you have not given your companion a sword and board, if you have not given them heavy armor, if you haven't done your best to find quickened gear, or at least bolstered or vigorous. Your companion simply won't be there to draw attention away from you, make it easier for you to do damage. But if you just want your companion to be running around with you, doing some damage, some healing, some tanking, it really doesn't matter what you put on it. Just try to make sure it's purple quality. And in the end, Quickened is your best choice, no matter what type of role you're trying to pursue for your companion. So just one more time, summing it up as clearly as I possibly can. Heavy armor is going to make your companion more survivable. Ranged weapons will help it stay away from enemies, but you're kind of wanting it to absorb damage from enemies anyway, in which case you do want your companion to be up close and personal, but with a one-handed weapon and a shield. I didn't mention there's no real difference between the different types of one-handed or two-handed weapons. It's all about aesthetics. Just choose whichever one you want. And yeah, heavy armor is just going to be the best for survivability. And the survivability and utility of your companion is largely based on how quickly it can use its abilities. So Quickened is really the best trait here, but if you're going for pure survivability, you might want to choose Vigorous or Bolstered instead. If you're going for pure healing, you'll want Soothing. And maybe if you're going for pure damage, you might want Aggressive, but even in that case, Quickened is probably going to be better because it's going to allow your companion to use his abilities more frequently. That's just about it, guys. For those of you who have a lot of experience in the game, I always appreciate it when you fill my knowledge gaps. Let me know anything I missed, so please don't hold back with the comments. If you're new to the game and you have any questions, please comment as well. Me or someone else in the community, we will do our best to help you figure it out. And if you do have any further or more complex questions, please do join us on the Spopes fam Discord. There's a link in the video description, also on my channel page. We also do now have a guild in the game, also called Spopes fam. If you are on PlayStation North America or PSNA, please do join us. This is mainly just a way for us all to get together in the game. I don't really have any plans for the guild, but it is fun being able to chat with all of you in the game and help each other out. Again, thank you all for watching. As usual, I'm going to finish up with a prayer. Lord, thank you for inspiring the developers at ZOS to add companions into the game. It really adds so much robustness and beauty and enjoyment to the game, makes it possible to take on veteran content by yourself, to be able to do so many more things solo, plus all the different companions have so many interesting things they say, different personalities. It has really just added a lot of depth to the game. Thank you for this system. Lord, please bless everyone at ZOS as the studio continues to go through hard times. Lord, please bless my channel. Please continue to help it to grow. I give all glory to you, Lord, for my channel. Thank you so much for making this possible. I thank you for all my viewers and subscribers and members. Please bless them. Please give them everything they need in the game and in real life. And Lord, do please make this a year of growth and prosperity for my channel. Please help people have it in their heart to contribute to the channel, to donate, become members. And Lord, I pray for all those who are seeking to follow in your footsteps, Jesus. Please help them follow you if they are struggling. And Lord, I pray for all those recently departed, that they are able to find their way to you with no obstructions. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. All right, I'm going to finish up now, but one more time, I could really use your support. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, help me keep doing it by becoming a member of the Spopes Army. I have 3 different tiers starting at just $1 a month. Please do leave me a donation. If you leave me a donation on my Fourth Wall site, I get a much larger percentage of it. But you can also leave donations in the form of super thanks in the comments. And do check out all the merch that I have on Fourth Wall. It's all branded with the Spopes logo, helps you represent the channel in the real world, and helps my brand grow. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Please do comment with any questions or feedback you may have. And before you go, please don't forget to like, hype, and share the video. And also, if you haven't, please do subscribe. And when you do subscribe, turn on notifications because I'll be back soon with new content.